Crap TV. This is a Crap TV. Crap TV. This is a Crap TV. This is Crap TV. Crap TV. Crap TV. The show. Crap TV. Crap TV. Crap TV.
Starting the show with a song,
How you make it like?
and then we're gonna go on with another talk show. Thanks for listening. This is Tom Becker.
Crap TV. The show. Hello everybody. How are you? We are in another edition of Crap TV, the show. We have a new topic today. And the topic. What's the topic, my friend? With you now, live.
The topic could be programming of human mind, experiments, social kind. Maybe we have a Swedish guest here. She's gonna stay, anonymous, but you will hear her voice.
Can you hear? Can you hear?
Talking about her experience in Sweden, one of the biggest countries of experiments on human with technological and social treatments. And also our guest is singing too. She has a good voice.
No, I don't feel for singing today actually.
That's what I expected, but anyway, I just wanted to tell you.
Because I hear someone say "Mama."
Ah. Okay.
Special guest today, also anonymous kid.
Anonymous.
Another anonymous guest is a kid, the younger human.
Eating an ice cream from a crap
So
company.
I was thirsty and I'm eating this grapefruit, but I think it's not so nice and kind to do that in front of a camera. But yeah, welcome everybody. This is the show number
Welcome.
7, I think. And as I said, we've
7 or 8 or 9.
So many.
Should be 7, but doesn't matter. I mean,
Okay.
we are going to speak, as you can see maybe here. I don't know who knows this guy. His name is Timothy Leary, but we're going to talk about him later. First, I want to welcome our guest, and let's see what we can talk like. Where are you from?
From Sweden,
Sweden. Which city?
Stockholm.
Stockholm.
Yeah, the main capital of Sweden.
Capital of Sweden.
The capital of
How
Sweden.
many people live in Sweden?
Well, I told you that I want to Google the numbers, and I didn't do it. But I think like 10
Didn't
million.
do it.
No, I
So
didn't.
I can do it right now.
I didn't do the homework. I'm sorry.
Okay. Oh, Brian, that is.
We can do this right now. The internet is not so bad, but
Because
my
there's
computer-
more and more people there somehow. It's growing somehow. Like
Hey.
It's yeah.
I don't know. It's
All
somehow
right,
it
all
grows.
right, all right.
Let's check the last actualization. No.
We will switch now.
That
We
would
will
be
switch
awesome.
to another setting because right now there is just a camera, but I also want to you to see my screen of my computer, so you see what we want to show you. Just a minute. Yeah, we are back. We are back. I wanted to see how many people live in Sweden. Sweden, that's so cool, man. You can just write Sweden somewhere and then you get everything you like from Sweden. But it's correct. Like you said,
10 million.
10 million, 9.9.
Yeah.
And you said that Stockholm should be around 1 million. And that's no, not 1. You said 3.
2.5.
Stockholm. Sorry, there you were not so correct. The
No?
population is around 1 million in Stockholm.
Only.
So it's 10%.
What?
Because
I
two and a
mean-
half would be like one of a
Yeah,
quarter.
it's too much. Yeah, I don't know.
It does. Yeah, it's.
Like I said, I should have googled it.
1 million people. So maybe you don't have the feeling that it's 1 million people, because these are the official numbers, and the official numbers sometimes are not really right with the real numbers.
Yeah, maybe. Feels like
You feel
Not so-
like well,
maybe
maybe,
it's
it's more people, like maybe it's 1 million of people that are living registered already there, and maybe 1.5 million that are
not
you
even
know,
registered.
not registered and coming and going.
Yeah, like
and, you
work
know,
for
like,
work or whatever. Yeah,
whatever,
exactly.
yeah.
Because it feels like 2 million. So
Like 2 million.
I mean,
people,
because
okay,
there is
yeah.
always not enough apartments. There has to be more than 1 million apartments in Stockholm.
Mhm.
Or
Yes.
but
it's-
I heard that they also like the people have their apartments.
What's that? Oh my
Maybe
god!
they have bought it and they're still paying it off, and then they go to live at the girlfriend's.
I didn't
apartment
expect
instead,
that
you know.
to see.
So kind of you have 2 apartments. And
What is this?
many people-
Do you know this? Porno
What is it?
graffiti.
Yeah, I heard something.
Is that allowed in Stockholm?
You have
Okay,
to click
there.
on it, I think.
You have to click on it. You know?
Yeah.
Giant blue penis
Somehow
painted
they,
on-
yeah. I mean,
You know, you have to
it
think.
looks a little bit
You know, you have to
difficult.
think. You live here. You know,
More
you have,
times.
you have to think. You live here. You know. You live here, right? Right here
Yeah,
in
but
this
this is
apartment,
a-
and
it's
you
some kind of
in the
exhibition.
morning you open the window, and you're like, good morning, Stockholm, and you see this.
Yeah, it's not. I wouldn't recommend to paint this anywhere. Like.
I don't
somehow.
know. Yeah. I mean,
But
Stockholm
anyway.
is very beautiful. You know, it's so beautiful. You see the colors and.
This is like an artwork. It's not
wow.
even there is not even many artworks in Stockholm. So, I mean, they choose this one as well. So it's like
When it's winter, you know, that's very nice.
Wow, this red.
yeah,
And it
building.
looks royal, like you said. It's
like
like
royal, yeah, like
the
because
royal
it's a
city.
king there. The king
The
just
yellow one.
celebrated last.
I
2
know
days
where we
ago
have
or
our bridge
something.
from. You know the Wettsteinbrücke? It's from here, from Sweden. It's the same bridge. Look, this bridge. Wettsteinbrücke. You know Wettsteinbrücke?
Or they got it from here.
Probably they got it from here.
But anyways,
But
what I
what
wanted.
you tell the king?
Yeah, the king just 2 days ago he celebrated 40 years on the
No,
throne.
it's not really
40 years on the throne.
40 years on the ruling the country.
Wow.
40 years.
Wor-
It's the most that any king has ever done.
Mhm.
So he did 40 years, and it's like a record
Record of.
in Swedish king history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like 2 days ago. So when was that? Like 28th of April 2018.
So we wanted
Something
to
like
talk
this.
about social engineering. Do you know anything about that? Social engineering. Do you understand something of this word?
What you
Social
told me before,
engineering.
you mean, or social engineering? Yeah, engineering socially.
Yeah. Like, you know, I heard that, I told you also last time, that in Sweden, in some kindergartens in Sweden, you cannot say she or he to a boy, or you cannot say even boy, this is a boy or a girl. It's not allowed to say, they are kids, you know. And they say hen.
Hen.
They have to say not him or her, but hen. you
Hen.
know.
Yeah.
Because because
a
a
new
child
word.
has no gender, you
Yeah.
know.
Not gender.
You know,
Ta kniven här lite där utanför. Kommer jag titta sen?
I think somehow I understand the idea, but I mean, what do you think about that? I don't know. What do you two think about it?
They just put it in the dictionary a couple of years ago.
Now it's
The
in
new word, yeah.
Yeah, a new word.
Hen. and it's used for like somehow it's also like used in the sense like when you say you should not do that, and then you write like hen should not do that, because in Sweden when you say you say often like man, and it's like a man, so they don't like that it's like man, so then they want it to be neutral, so they say hen. Hen should not do that, you know. It's like a new word they use.
So
Since
the
just a few
male
years.
is a bad thing, you know.
Yes.
Is that
No, not male,
like
but
male?
they have to connect. They
If it
somehow
sounds male,
connect it.
it's
Too connected to the male.
Okay,
Ah.
we have the same problem. I mean, a little bit, almost the same. Like we in Germany, we use "man macht das nicht" zum Beispiel.
Genau, man.
Man macht das. Man sollte das nicht tun. And it is written with one N. You know, it's man.
Yeah.
But it comes from man.
Yeah, but in a man is with two N.
A man you write with two N. Yeah, but still.
Yeah. But in Sweden you only write with
related.
one N, both words.
Mhm.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
man.
both.
Man.
Yes, still,
Man,
but it's
you should
related.
not, man sollte das nicht machen. You should not do it. Man borde inte göra det.
And I agree. You know, there is also in the German language. There is injustice in the language itself between the genders, because you know, when you say herrlich, it comes from Herr. You know, Herr is a Mister or a man. You know, herrlich is a positive word, but dämlich it comes from Dame. You know, it's very scheiß. You know, it's dämlich. It comes from Dame. It's a nice way to say to a woman is a Dame.
Yeah.
But dämlich, it means the same like stupid, you know. So you have some problems in the language how they used
How
it,
people want to use it.
or how they're using it, but unaware of what they're saying, you know. So, but this, I think, you know, this should be something between Erwachsene, yeah.
Something similar happened in Mexico. Mexico, all what is father is cool and what is mother is not cool. Yeah.
Like what?
Like it's good is padre, que padre,
Ah.
and it's not good, que mamada.
Ah. Que padre means like,
Or
wow, it's very
la-
good.
Te doy por la madre. Or
Yeah.
No, but that's
Yeah. Ja, okej. Nej, inte den här som är på bordet här.
Yeah.
Den här är
yes, but
kvar.
then to put this fight, this stupid fight, to the children, I think it's a bit. They didn't deserve that. For a child, a boy is a boy and a girl is a girl. I mean, what's the problem, you know, to
Yeah.
make them think about their gender in as a child?
Yeah.
You know, I think that's too much for a boy and a girl to say. Why should I not say boy to the boy? You know. I think that has to do with social engineering. When you ask me, when they want to have a new society, new kind of thinking already implanted in children, you know. That's funny because we were talking. As we were talking about this, there was not yet this incident with the incel. You know the incel.
No.
We were talking about the topic, and now you have a new idea, you know, of terrorism, incel rebellion.
Yeah, I told.
Incel coming from the word, how you say, how you say?
Incel rebellion.
Incel, it
Incel,
sounds
the
like
word-
an island.
Yeah,
In English,
in
yeah,
German
in
is
German.
island, but incel it comes from two words. Cell is for celibate, you know, when you don't have human sexual
Contact.
Never ever.
Instead of
celibate, and the word in, it comes from involuntarily. So they are
Involuntary
involuntarily
celibate. Somehow.
celibate, who blame the other gender. So there are men who blame women for them not having sexual relations, because they are too choosy, and so they say his motive, the motive of this guy running with the cart over people.
He did some society, with this
I think
in Canada, or
in
what
Canada,
did
yeah.
you say?
So that now they say it's a this because this guy, he had a problem with his sexual orientation, whatever. Is a danger to society now.
Yeah.
The fight gets so far between men and women to make
Yeah.
that
In
kind
Finland, they have an island where only women can go.
In Finland.
Yeah, it's new since a couple of months. Like
really.
they organized an island where only women can go.
How many
to.
women are living there?
I don't know. I think it's
I
more
have-
like like an island where you can go to.
Mhm.
Like maybe some woman owns it, and then she decided this island only women can go to. I don't know how it's worked out. Or
But they are living
government,
already.
I don't know. I don't think it-
women like a city or something, or it's
no, it's
just
like a small island, I guess. I think it's just
Okay.
a small island like that. Yeah.
I mean, it shows kind of desperation, like that there is something
Oh,
in the gender. There's a gender problem, like in society right now.
A lot of things is about the gender, but also women has been like suppressed for a long time
For a long
too.
time.
Like, and now with the Me Too movement and all of this, a lot of things happen in Sweden, for example, like in the Swedish academia, like they have a Swedish academia, and how do you say it, like in English? Swedish academy. Swedish
Academics.
academic. The Swedish academics.
Academy.
Academy.
They have always been
Sorry.
seen like a verein. How do you say that?
association.
No, verein. Like
Association.
Association.
Yeah.
Okay. And and
Funny.
but they have been doing maybe a lot of wrong inside of the academic association. And now it has come out some information in the media about that they have been doing some taxes, cheating with the taxes, and they also kicked, or they did not kick anyone yet, but one person in the thing, because of the Me Too movement, is accused of being have been sexual harassed some women and people, like inside of this association. And now one of the head leaders, she lost her leading position, and she also said that she wants to go from her chair, that she leaves her chair to someone else. And also like 6 people or something like this have quit their job there. And actually in the rules of this association, it says that you're not allowed to leave. You actually have to be there your whole life.
Wow.
Like in the government in US, isn't it like this? Like the top leaders who are deciding the most, they have to die to quit their job. That's why there are so many men in the American government. And in Sweden they have like a rule that it has to be like 40 or something % women in the parliament. So I mean it's good somehow, they want this, but why do it 40? Why not do it 50 if you do it, still like why? Why do you do 40? Why don't you do 50? And the Swedish academic
step.
association is also connected to the royal government. And yeah, and so the king is like maybe the one who has to say something about this, you know. But
I think
he's
it would
like,
be
yeah,
that's a good idea.
it's a chaos in this thing, in this academic association. It's very, right now it's like a crisis. Yeah.
I think that would be a great if there could be never be one president, but there would be always two, a woman and a man at the same time running the country. Even, you know. So they have to agree also. They have to talk also together. But this would be also slower, a bit slower maybe, because it takes time when you need to discuss everything together, two heads. But anyway, this was just an idea.
Yeah.
You know what?
But here in Switzerland, I don't know. Like
Here we are.
it's not so.
We are not so. They don't like to experiment so much. Switzerland likes to watch others do stuff, and then when they see it works for a while. So they're watching, they're observing for a while, and if it works, they take it.
Yeah.
You know, they are not so quick in changing stuff.
No.
And we have in Switzerland, I think it's one of the fewer countries that has direct democracy. I mean, the people can directly vote
About a lot of things,
about
yeah.
laws, you know.
Not
On this
everything.
vote stuff too.
Yeah.
Not everything, but almost everything, you know. So if they want to make a change, first they need to, the people has to agree with most, not all of stuff, of course. But most of things we can vote, that others cannot vote. It has advantages and disadvantages, but I think it feels more fair.
It makes more free. It feels more free, you know, because in Sweden it feels a little bit closed. It doesn't feel free at all, you know. It's like someone is always like
It's like,
deciding where your money
kindergarten.
should go to, you know, like your
kindergarten.
taxes. Someone else decide where your taxes go to. It could
You know-
be even to some medical thing, you know, like
You know Kinderüberraschung?
experiments or whatever.
I will ask again.
Yeah,
You know Kinderüberraschung?
Kinderüberraschung.
Yeah.
Surprise.
Kinder surprise.
No, these eggs you can buy for
Yeah.
Yeah, the
children.
Kinder
Chocolate, and when you
eggs,
open it, there is a game inside,
Yeah.
you know. Politics in European countries, they are more like Kinderüberraschung. You know, you can choose the politician, but after what will come out, it's like a surprise. Like, you cannot
Yeah.
choose the things what he should do, or you know, stuff that should be happen when you know you choose a person, and then what he do is like a surprise. You choose him, and then at once you say, "Ah, now we're gonna do that," and you say, "Oh fuck, I voted for the wrong person." You know,
It would
like,
also be a surprise if you do anything that you want to. I mean,
even then you're surprised. But I mean, it should not be like that. You should not be surprised when you. I mean, what does it make? What sense does it make if you vote? You elect somebody, you vote, you give a voice, and then something else is happening. I mean, then it would be better you didn't
but
vote
how
at
is
all.
it in Argentina, for example?
In Argentina,
Yeah.
it's very corrupt.
Yeah.
It's totally corrupt. It's a diva
There's
show.
nothing if you compare to there. no?
They are really.
That's
on the
kind of
top,
American,
and-
no? It's kind of American. They have also
Yeah.
president
American
system,
inside.
one elected, and then he stays for several years.
Yeah, 4 years. 4 years.
And then in these 4 years he can make whatever he wants, and everybody has to agree, no?
Yeah, somehow, yeah.
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 But that's come on, man.
And sometimes he get re-elected and get 8 years,
Yeah.
and then he can suck more. You know. But the structure of these governments always the same.
They make someone else
Responding-
lose that
They
the
are
people
always
want.
the same, responding to the same powers and
Yeah.
responding to the same structures, and taking profits just
Yeah.
for the
I think,
international thing.
I think that's a lot of that in a lot of countries somehow. but in Switzerland somehow it's a little bit different because it's still corrupt because it's so rich. And everyone keeps their money here and blah blah blah, you know, all this.
Switzerland is Disneyland
And they
of
make
the-
some
all the
plastic, small plastic things for the guns and stuff like this. Like they do stuff still, you know, even if you don't see it. Like.
So let's turn back to the topic. I found a video of this guy I introduced you before, Timothy Leary. I want to show this first.
About psychology, and
Wait. Just 1 minute.
Millbrook on the American East Coast. In the vacant country house of a rich patron, former Harvard lecturer Timothy Leary founded a psychedelic commune.
well, the first experience I had was with 7 little mushrooms in Mexico. For the 5 hours after I ate these mushrooms, I learned more about psychology than I had in the preceding 16 years as a psychologist. And since that time, I've done almost nothing but attempt to study, to learn more about how these experiences are produced and how they can be used for man's benefit.
Yeah, that's the guy. I mean, Timothy Leary, he died in the year 96 of prostate cancer. And this house you see in this snow, this big house, the villa, he gets from the government to make studies with LSD, you know, and with Harvard students, you know, like, and the students, they could stay in this villa. It has 52 rooms or whatever, and 9 bathrooms, like a hotel, you know, like a big place with hippies. And they could stay there and take LSD when they filled in some forms, you know.
Really?
So they have, there is one guy, he was interviewed, he said, you know, I took about 200 LSDs and, you know, like, what?
Yeah.
200?
Yeah, I know that they
And-
did some research. They thought that they could treat like schizophrenia with this.
Not only
Exactly.
that, how this guy explains.
What Hoffman, the inventor of that he was doing it maybe 800 meters of this place now we are now.
Yeah.
He really was looking at the cure for schizophrenia. That's the motivation of him to make this experiment. But accidentally, he reached the LSD.
Yeah.
But what he
So that's
say,
what
this
it
guy,
is.
he say, with LSD, I think that's why I took this sentence. You know, he said, with 5 hours of LSD, I made more experience in human psychology than I did with 15 years of practitioner, you know, as psychologist. So I think this is true, you know. So
This is
that's,
true.
That's the beginning of the interview, and in the end, he said now he understands. He starts to understand
Yeah,
the human brain and mind
yeah,
like a machine is a computer, like a computer that works with electricity, and
Yeah.
it has certain kind of connections, and he's able, like with all this study today, with the results of these experiments, doctors and professors today are able to fully comprehend how human mind works, and also how you can affect it to have it work the way you like it, you know. So that's why how I come to you know,
Yeah, because
there's a movie called The Net, and in this movie another guy, he has also, you know, because many professors, they get this LSD fluid to make experiments and get results to the CIA, to different kind of places. And in the net there is another professor, a German professor with something very big on his head. I don't know his name, but this guy, he get the LSD, and he had the Auftrag, how you say, the order to produce the personal computer.
The job.
His job was to produce the personal computer. His job was to make the computer of industry, the industrial computer, for the use of every single person, that everybody could use it. So he built it up, as he say, how he could understood the human mind and how you can interact most friendly, you know, with the surface, so that it's most similar to the brain. You know, and that's how they created the personal computers with LSD experiments. And you know, if you have all this knowledge, you come to this one. They have there is an article here from the Daily Mail. US government accidentally sent a strange conspiracy theory file describing remote mind control and forced memory blanking. So I did a little let's call research, yeah, and I found this document.
Yeah.
It's in the web. I mean, I will write the link, yeah, that you can see it yourself. But I just want to show this part, yeah, where you can see the effects and so on. Artificial tinnitus, you know, is a special one.
Bass.
Playing on the guitar now, yeah.
You know, this was in the year 2000, yeah? And now that's 18 years old. I mean, in 18 years, many things already happened. So they can trigger all kind of feelings, emotions, even thoughts.
Yeah,
know.
the thing is that in medicine there is a lot of drugs involved too, like parts from drugs. They can take out some structures and put it in another thing and then make it synthetic, something else. Like in like in Concerta, for example, it's like some structures from amphetamine, you know? And amphetamine is like a structure, no? Somehow like this. And all these drugs, like people that people take on the street, like in Sweden, for example, there's a lot of people dying out of heroin and stuff like
Heroin.
this. Yeah, in Sweden. And
In Sweden.
yeah, because they don't get really the help, and also they give another medicine that is maybe stronger even, you know, like morphine.
Methamphetamine.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't. It was a long time I read about this, but anyway, still, you know, like in America, for example, I think that I heard something like 30% of the kids in the school, they take like ADHD medicine, like Concerta, Ritalin, and all this. That is like connected, like a little bit like amphetamine. And also in Sweden, they do a lot like this. They try to. It was like an ADHD boom, like some years ago, and all of a sudden everyone told, I'm gonna go to make a test if I have ADHD, you know. And I heard some people say it, and I'm like, what, you know? And they start to do it for the kids, you know. They start to make like investigations about the kids, how it behaves, and this and that, you know. They never look like, what does he eat, you know. Maybe it's coming more like that, but they don't do a whole body scan, you know what I mean. They just think about the head, and that is something wrong with your head, and your stomach doesn't have anything to do with the head. No, of course not, you know. And then they start to get addicted, you know, like kids, they start to get addicted to these pills, and also like other sicknesses, like that you get for pain, for example, you get something that numbs you, you know, like morphine, or maybe like what do you get, like codeine. You get maybe all of these shit things, you know, and all of these medicines, maybe they come from here, you know, or they make it in India, but they have the company here and they send it to Sweden and other countries. And Sweden is probably one of them.
Chemical masters, they really travel to many countries and get extracts of the original substances in the plants.
Exactly,
you know,
and then they
nature.
copyright it.
They
copyright it in
yeah.
synthetic,
You know.
Yeah, that's,
and also they pay doctors for giving the medicine that they produce. They pay the doctors to give the medicine that they produce. So the doctor is, of course, when you come to the doctor, he's gonna tell you, take this, you know, and why? And I start to think, like, why do they say that, you know? Because then I found out that maybe two medicines can be exactly the same substance, active substance, but other things inside, and they just change the name, and you know that then it becomes like it's a big market, you know, because then you have this label that you want to promote, and then you send it, you sell it into the doctors or the countries.
It's a big industry and it's a lot of money
big
involved.
industry.
Yeah. And they fuck people's life up.
You could get the naturally product of this
because
substance
it's everything from the nature,
from the nature,
They just fucked it up.
But
mixed
I
it
want
up
to go
and then
one step,
give it, you know.
one step more. I'm afraid that it's true what they write here, and Swedish people are really targeted to make them weak, you know, to make them feel sick and to make them feel not
like,
so good. They are targeted by electric signals, you know, and here, you know, that's very shit. But the first unclassified successful transmission of the human voice directly into the skull of a living person was performed by Dr. Joseph C. Sharp of the Walter Reed Army Institute of Research in 1974. So they could
in
send
Sweden
this.
or what?
This could, no, that's from the NASA.
Mhm.
In 1974, that's, you know, like, how many years ago? 50 years ago? 45?
3 years ago.
They could send a signal and directly into your brain.
Mhm.
You know? In 74.
Or
What do you think?
44 years
What
ago.
do you think they can
Depend.
do today?
Yeah. You
Now-
don't know about all the things that
now-
they can do.
Yeah, now they can. They
Now,
can do so
now
many
you know
stuff.
this.
You think you're crazy, you're sick, and you don't know that you're being attacked by some. They're everywhere. You know, here there is a fucking signal. If you start to listen in what your brain is telling you all the time, you can really get sick. And they use this phenomenon because we are doing it. You know, it's normal that you listen to when you go to bed, you think through the day and you listen. But they're affecting you emotionally with this frequency shit all the time. Telephone, and TV. In the TV you have sinus and signals, you know,
Yeah.
inside the voice, inside the TV, that disturb you actually, you know. And then when you think with these disturbed thoughts, you come in.
But it's not even just signals, it's in everything. It's what you eat, it's the medicine you take,
and then with
the
the
water
medicine,
you drink,
and then
it's
you have
poison,
problems, and
whatever,
then they
you know,
give you
it's
medicine,
everything.
and then they make it worse, of course, you know.
Always working together, yeah.
Then it works together.
It's
you know,
a signal in everything that is here in the city, like in the West world, and also in the other part of world that it's coming
But
to,
we,
like the
we
poison,
are also,
the other
you know, when
parts
they
of
do
the
it in
world that
Sweden, they will
are
do
not
it here
so
too.
poison, maybe.
Sweden is just a place for experiment, but I think it comes more and more to everywhere, you know, like with the 5G system, from 4G they're gonna go to 5G. They make more and more stuff that is not good for people, and we get
Yeah.
weaker and weaker. But that's a mind attack, actually, you know, when you, the creation, the most problems come out of the thoughts that you believe after, you know. When you go home and you believe your thoughts, like that everything is shit, there is no solution in your thoughts, you know. Thoughts without solution. Normally humans should always find solution for his thoughts, but we are running behind thoughts that have no, they don't give you nothing. they harm you, or their thoughts, you don't feel good with it, and you think it's normal to have that thoughts, but it's not.
Yeah.
You should have a solution for every thought. That
Yeah.
should be a normal process in mind, but not
Yeah, in Sweden
feeling
it's
shit
extreme.
and just like that, then it's normal.
I have
No,
the
it's
feeling
not
like
normal.
that in Sweden somehow, but you know, every country also have like good and bad things, and you know, maybe one
In
thing
every
is good
country, you
here,
know?
and one thing is good there, one thing is bad here, one thing is bad there,
Mhm.
and especially like everywhere, you know, like because it's been everywhere, like in every part of the jungle the human being has been, you know. It's like
Showing
the whole
power,
world is like poison now.
poison.
And especially
Corruption.
especially in places like that, you know, like Sweden, drinking a lot of alcohol, taking medicine. Now, you know, in Africa, in some countries, they drink more alcohol than before because it's been Western. Also, like it's not only in Sweden, you know, like everywhere, a lot of alcohol, for example.
But would you be afraid to directly
And medicine.
criticize the Swedish government?
I
Would
mean,
you be
yeah.
afraid somehow? Yeah.
No, but it wouldn't make any sense, you know.
But for
Like-
the society, like, would you be accepted if you criticize?
Yeah, it's not North Korea like that, you know. I mean, you're allowed to say whatever you want and everything, you know. It's kind of like that's kind of the conspiracy in the whole country is like that it should be as open as much to make it look better than it is, you know. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because of not many people know that Sweden produce a lot of airplanes, like jet airplanes for the wars and stuff, and they sell a lot of things, and it's connected with the one thing and another. One, like, you know, minister, something, you know, like it's always some drama, but behind the curtains, like where you don't really see, and if you don't dig inside, like it, but that's everywhere. So like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that's true. But today we have everywhere a kind of. I think people are everywhere somehow a bit afraid to say what they really think. You know. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Because it
Today it's normal.
it doesn't even make sense anymore to say anything because everyone says everything all the time. You know? Snälla, kan jag sluta?
Yeah, Kaspar,
No, I
we
said
don't
his
see
name.
we're making a TV
We don't
show.
say his
yeah?
name. We peep his name. Beep.
We're making a TV show. You don't see that? No.
Ta den. Är pappa där nere och
He
spelar
needs
eller?
also some attention.
Anonymous.
We have all the attention for us from all the world, and Kaspar has nothing.
Is this like live or?
No.
Anonymous.
But I think we should. That's good enough for this discussion. Now, do you want to add some more stuff? Because now it's like about 1 hour or
1
more.
hour.
1 hour or more.
Hey,
and
people,
we had many.
don't forget to
interesting
subscribe.
stuff. And also click the like
Click
button.
the like button and comment.
Comment some
If you have
stuff.
a question,
Comment
if you
below.
want to talk with us, if you want to, you know,
Come up
Be in
with some
contact.
idea to talk about
and
next
communicate,
time.
then use the comments.
Yes, and the
In a good way.
notification bell.
Respect, always, everybody. And
All time.
thank you for another edition of Crab TV, the show.
Show.
Woo!
Yes, like I said, click the notification bell so you will see the next video at the right time and you don't miss anything. Bye bye.
Zo is het eruit.